Namaste and welcome to class. And thank you so much for sitting with me with your undivided attention here at home. It's a beautiful summer day after 2 days of rain here in Quebec. But that's the weather around the world, crazy. And in today's class, I want to talk to you about why do we want and insist in changing the other persons, the other relationships, the other reality, the other opportunities. We always can have this amazing love and heart for our projects, for our children, for our love, for any relationship, and then we find ourselves wanting to change the other. And in that, you may say, oh, yes, I don't need to change the other. But we are always tricked by our pride that we want to exalt ourselves, and that the first programming, I'm going to give you three programmings. The first programming is that we want in the background to assert our security, assert our identity. And it's that belief system is, if I change you, then I prove that I am powerful, that I am impactful, that you love me, and that I am important. So this is a kind of a pride, and this is a type that is very misunderstood and very intertwined with certain emotional immaturity. So that is the first thing. You want to change the other because you want to exalt yourself, because you want to triumph. And that changing the other is not only in behavior, but it can have the face of being very nice, like, oh, it would be very nice if you do this. And you may be right that, certain advice or certain implementations can be developing the relationship and the standard of living it to another level. However, it's not based in mutual equal agreement, that is not wanting to change the other. The second part, that you want to change the other, even if you have the most loving things, is because in certain development of your childhood, certain emotional development on your childhood, you tense up and you conclude certain positions in your childhood where you definitely didn't take the opportunities of taking challenges, and with that maturing your own emotional boundaries. And I say emotional boundaries because usually we want to change the other, and that cross our own boundaries and cross the boundaries of the other. So that's something inside that you did not cross. Could be in childhood. If you're really reactive and really immature, it's probably between 4 and 8 years old, or even earlier, where you did not take the challenge of any kind. You were too spoiled. Mothers please you and overprotect you and love you and so on, and it didn't give you the room to sweat a little bit, to get burned with certain situations where you have to confront your own capacities. So that emotional immaturity can be stuck in certain age, and accordingly to that, then you will demand on the other and have expectations on the other one that change and that loves you and protects you. So with that, it can be in any age, right? If you don't take your own challenges, you're not going to mature. You are not going to prove that you have certain capabilities. The other part that it goes hand to hand with pride in this is that you want to change the other one and you want to give a lot of advice. You want to give a lot of your presence, of your energy, of your cooking, of your care, and so on, with that hidden agenda of you have to love me. You have to acknowledge that I exist, that I am valid, that I am being seen by you. Well, this is not going to happen. Only you and God sees you. The fact is that you use all these mechanics to request love, but not to give love. Not to give love in the way where you're soft, where you're vulnerable, where you are really making yourself very attentive, and mostly you are making yourself slow in the reception, slow in the awareness, slow in the current, because it's not enough to be in the current. You need to manage as well the current. The current of love, the current of love, the current of life, the current of wisdom. Love, 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 love only. Yes, it's a beautiful current, but if you don't manage it and you don't immerse yourself on it, in that union, you are not given the chance to receive that love, not to be hidden by the soft light of the contact that is going to produce certain alchemy and certain force that is very needed in order for you to transmute and see yourself. So this is a very important part. The third part is regarding why I want to change the other one, is that if you're investing too much in the other, you are overviewing the other, either your work or your relationships, you are avoiding certain self-reflection, certain self-relaxation, certain self-pleasure, certain self-respect, certain self of just slow down. You need to realize that the frequency of love is slow. Have you seen lovers, how they move? They are very attentive to the flowers, and they take their time. They are lazy to be in bed and so on. A certain relaxation and maturity and a slowness that comes with love. Love is not an accelerating thing. The heart is like a kid. It doesn't have a future. It doesn't have that, oh, you need to change, you need to be the way I want it so I am secure, and then you can prove me that you love me. No, you are asking love in the wrong way, and you are understanding love in a very immature way. So between living in the past by your assumptions and your emotional immaturity and your emotional body, your expectations, your pride, your avoiding of self-reflection or self-responsibility, and avoiding really to act on the things that you are afraid. This is very important, because wanting to change the other, it debilitates your magnetic field. It means that you don't have enough magnetism, strength to face your own challenges, your own fears, to read the circumstances, to read your opportunities. You are kind of holding back on that. So all that you do is to go out of yourself and say, you change, so I am okay. But this is something that your brain is have a growth or response on that. We are not doing that because you are broke or you are bad, or it's simply because you have not been educating your mind in the right way. It's not very much opportunities in our society to grow emotionally away from the house, from the family, and to give you the right challenges for you to acquire that maturity. So it's important that you recognize that, okay, I have educated my brain to respond in a certain way. And in that response, any perception that I see in the other, it will trigger my own immaturities, my own points, my own breaks, my own instability. So what do I do in order to shift this type of response and type of perception? Well, I always say that the brain only change through certain repetitions, and the repetition that you do every day, conscious and unconsciously, is breathing. And that way of perception have a frequency. It means it vibrate in certain world, in certain collectiveness. And that's why you say, oh, that's a general issue of humanity, and everybody have it. Everybody have it. It's not only you, because we have been delinking that action of taking responsibility and putting in the other our power. So with that, then we realize that, okay, it's not only me, it's collectively, and it's a way of responding and perceiving. So it's a matter of awareness. So it's not only that you need to be attentive on this, oh yeah, today I want the other one to change this, even if it's just to put the cup of tea in another part. That is a change. Rather leave the action innocent and let the other free, wanting to put the cup of tea whatever he wants. Right? It's a lot in the tasking and in the daily living that you may encounter these situations. Just number one, be aware of you wanting that, meaning you're extending your boundaries and going into places where you have no power. Therefore, you're signing up to be resentful and angry and cranky. And of course, nobody wants to love a person like that. And the second thing I will say is that the food, even if you don't realize that, because what you eat, it maintains certain frequency. If you eat food that is heavy, you know, meat or tamasic or old or leftovers, things like that, you are naturally, the body is vibrating in that kind of frequency. So if you want to really shift that, just change something in your diet. Make your guts a little bit cleaner, because after all, you are responding from your guts, not from your head. You may understand and say, oh yes, I do that, I want to change others and so on, but you may not be able to change it. And it's because you're not addressing your second brain. And then the creme, the cherry over the cake, is the breath. Notice how you are breathing. When you want to change others, your breath is a little bit out of your body. It's hard to explain, but as a pranatologist, I observe this over and over, where people are out of themselves when they expect to be rescued by the others, or loved by the others, or acknowledged by the other. The breath is very shallow, and the breath is a kind of out of them. They don't take a full breath in. So for that, I want to give you, don't go away, because this is the practical way of how you can change your prana, and the prana change your nervous responses, and the nervous responses change your behavior. It's a very simple thing, and if you want more guidance, please visit our website. We have a course for beginners and mediums and advanced students who have not addressed that. So let's sit with the spine straight. And let's close your eyes. Soft down your face. And and have a soft smile. Place your attention in your belly and softly take inhalations from your belly. You expand in the in-breath and you contract in the out-breath. Just lower the energy to your belly. One more breath. Now softly you are gonna inhale in 2 strokes through your nose. Then you will stop the breath 2 seconds and then you will exhale 2 strokes through your nose. Let's do it together. Inhale, fill up the lungs, stop. 2, exhale, stop. 2, inhale, hold. 2, exhale, hold. 2, inhale. 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, nose. 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Last 3. Inhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Inhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2. Exhale, 1, 2, hold. 1, 2, and relax. Let the breath be the way it wants to be, and focus in your whole body, the cells, trillions of cells in your body. There is certain electricity in them. That create your boundaries. Relax that electricity. And reaffirm internally, I am, I am, I am. See yourself in a sphere of light, cozy, safe, and grounded. I thank you very much for sitting with me, and I will see you in our next class. Namaste.